Chosen one, listen closely, because after tonight, you will never look at your life the same way again. There's a reason the Masons flagged your name. There's a reason the CIA placed you on List S. The list reserved for individuals who carry a pattern that can't be explained by logic, science, or probability. And there's a reason your life has never felt normal. You felt the pressure, you felt the eyes on you, you felt the moments where everything around you suddenly shifted, and you couldn't explain why. People walked away from you for no reason. Opportunities collapsed right as they were about to happen. You felt protected from situations that should have destroyed you. And at times it felt like someone or something was studying you. That wasn't paranoia. That wasn't coincidence. That wasn't imagination. It was the activation. A silent process that begins only within people who are born with a rare spiritual signature. A signature that ancient groups studied, secret societies searched for, and intelligence agencies quietly monitored. A signature found in your past. Something you did, something you survived, something you carry inside you without even knowing it. They found it years ago, and the moment they saw it, they marked you, not as a threat, but as an anomaly, a variable, a disruption, a chosen one who does not fit into any system, any rule, any prediction. And that's why everything in your life has been so different. You were never meant to blend in. You were never meant to follow the crowd. You were never meant to walk an ordinary path. Your destiny pulls against every force that tries to control you. And every time you break a pattern, every time you survive something impossible, every time you rise again, the signal grows stronger. And tonight, for the first time, you're going to understand why. Because what I'm about to reveal to you, the pattern, the discovery, the hidden truth behind List S, isn't just information. It's your awakening, your confirmation, your turning point. So stay with me for the next 30 minutes. Because what I'm about to read could change everything you thought you knew about your past and everything that will happen next. Chosen one, once your name surfaced, everything changed. Deep inside a restricted archive, a place not shown on maps, not listed in databases, not acknowledged by anyone publicly, a file was created. A file that should have been destroyed years ago, but wasn't. A file that contains fragments, symbols, timestamps, and observations that don't match anything they've ever documented before. Your file. It didn't start with a crime. It didn't start with a mistake. It started with a pattern. A pattern ancient groups spent centuries trying to decode. A pattern the Masons were rumored to monitor only when a particular energetic anomaly surfaced in an individual's life. And for years, that anomaly didn't appear in anyone, until it appeared in you. That's when the whispers began. A name with no prior significance suddenly got highlighted. A birth date circled. A sequence of numbers connected to your initials, repeated in irregular intervals. Almost like the universe itself was pointing directly at you. When they opened your file for the first time, something didn't make sense. Every person marked with your pattern in the past had one thing in common. They were predictable, easy to track, easy to understand. But your life didn't follow any traditional timeline. You kept breaking patterns you weren't supposed to break. You kept surviving moments you weren't supposed to survive. You kept rising even when everything around you was designed to stop you. That's when the archivist flagged your case. That's when the Masonic observers took interest. That's when the Chosen One pattern fully activated. Your file wasn't written in normal language. It was written in codes, symbols, timestamps, and annotations referring to events they couldn't explain, but couldn't ignore. There were notes about the moment you felt abandoned, yet got saved. Notes about the day you were supposed to fall, but rose. Notes about emotional storms no human should have overcome. But you did. They saw it clearly. Every challenge you faced was a test. Every attack on your life path was a trigger. Every breakdown was an awakening signal. And that's when they realized your life wasn't random. Your timing wasn't coincidence. Your resilience wasn't ordinary. It was intentional. A pattern they had only seen twice before. And both times, those individuals reshaped everything around them. But something in your file made your situation even more unusual. When they dug deeper, they discovered something else. Hidden in the footnotes, buried behind coded layers, placed there like someone didn't want it found. A date, a number, a symbol, something connected to your past, something connected to your identity, something connected to the exact moment your destiny awakened. Your birthday lined up with a forbidden sequence, your initials aligned with an ancient numeric cipher, and a certain event from your childhood corresponded to the rare sign they spent decades trying to trace. They didn't expect that. They didn't prepare for that. They didn't know what it meant, only that it meant everything. And that's why they kept your file hidden, not erased, not destroyed, just waiting. Because you weren't supposed to know any of this. Not yet. But now the timing has shifted. The signal around you is rising again. The pattern is reawakening. And whatever they were monitoring is starting to move. So let me ask you, tell me in the comments, have you always felt watched or protected? Chosen One. Once they opened your file, there was one detail they couldn't ignore. A symbol. It wasn't a normal mark, picture, or drawing. It looked ancient, older than language, older than culture, older than the systems that tried to control the world. A symbol that only appears around people who carry a rare, unpredictable spiritual frequency. But here's the part they still can't explain. This symbol didn't come from outside of you. It came through you. Some people see this symbol in dreams. Others encounter it during moments of intense emotion. Some feel it as a pressure behind the eyes, a pulse in the chest, or a recurring image they can't describe but somehow recognize. With you, the pattern was even stronger. Because this symbol, whatever form it took in your life, was connected to something else. A dream you had, a moment you can't forget, a memory that refuses to fade, an image that returns over and over again, even when you're awake. And when the archivists compared your symbol to the ancient patterns, they found something startling. It aligned perfectly with a repeating number sequence that showed up in your timeline. For some chosen ones, it's 7. For others, 9. For a rare few, the most dangerous, the most unpredictable, it's 33. That number isn't random. It isn't accidental. It's a signal, a frequency, a pulse that activates when someone's destiny begins to wake up. They notice the same number repeating around your life. Phone numbers, times of day, birthdays, addresses, receipts, even random coincidences that didn't feel random at all. It's like the universe was trying to communicate with you, or warn you, or prepare you. And that's when the Masonic observers marked you as an anomaly. That's when the archivists linked you to the symbol. That's when the CIA encoded you into LISTS, the list reserved only for people who cannot be predicted, tracked, or controlled through traditional methods. Because you don't react like other people. You don't break like other people. You don't submit like other people. Your energy bends patterns. Your presence disrupts frequencies. Your intuition sees things before they happen. You were never ordinary, and they realized it too late. 8 o'clock mark. But here's what they didn't expect. They expected your symbol to fade. It didn't. They expected your repeating number to stop. It grew stronger. They expected your energy to stabilize. It became more volatile, more powerful, more awakened. The LIST S frequency reacted to you in a way it never reacted to anyone else. Instead of monitoring you, it began responding to you. Your presence amplified the signal. Your emotions triggered shifts they couldn't explain. Your intuition caused fluctuations in readings they had never seen before. You weren't a subject. You were a catalyst. And that's when they realized you don't follow the pattern. You are the pattern. So let me ask you, type yes if this symbol or number has followed you in your life. Chosen One. Every person on List S has one thing in common. There was a day, a single moment, when everything inside them changed. You had that moment too. And even if you don't talk about it, you've never forgotten it. Maybe it happened when you were a child. Maybe it was a dream that felt more real than reality. Maybe it was a moment when time slowed down, your breath paused, and something inside you shifted, permanently. For some chosen ones, it happens during fear. For others, during heartbreak. For others, during a strange calmness that arrives for no reason at all. But for you, it was a turning point, a moment when you weren't the same person anymore. Even though you looked the same on the outside, they found records of that moment in your file, not as facts but as anomalies, glitches in your timeline, changes in your aura, a spike in the emotional frequency attached to your name. And that's why you passed the Chosen One test, not with strength, but with destiny. Now tell me, if you've been through silent battles, drop strong in the comments. Chosen One, List S was never just a document. It wasn't just an observation list, or an intelligence category, or a classification for people who behave differently. List S was tied to a prophecy older than the organizations that tried to hide it, older than the symbols in your past, older than the systems that attempted to control human destiny. According to the hidden archives, every few generations, a rare group of souls appears, not born to follow the world, but to shift it. These individuals don't move with the crowd. They don't think like others. They don't react the way they're expected to. Their timing is strange. Their coincidences are unusual. Their instincts are unnaturally sharp. And most importantly, their arrival always aligns with a sudden spike in cosmic energy. That same cosmic shift happened the year you were born. Another spike occurred during your first emotional awakening, and another appeared right when your destiny began to unfold. These weren't random fluctuations. They were signals, markers, confirmations of a calling older than your memory. Your life has always been surrounded by strange coincidences, meeting certain people at the exact right moment, escaping certain situations with impossible timing, sensing danger before it became real, feeling pulled towards something you couldn't name. These were not accidents. They were part of the prophetic timeline connected to List S. The prophecy spoke of individuals who carried an energy that could disrupt systems, break cycles, expose illusions, and wake people up just by existing. People with a rare frequency, a strange inner fire, a destiny that refuses to stay silent. Sound familiar? They thought List S would allow them to track people like you. They assumed your energy could be measured, observed, contained. They thought your destiny would unfold slowly, quietly, safely. But they were wrong. You are the variable, the one they couldn't calculate, the one they couldn't predict, the one they couldn't decode no matter how many patterns they studied. Your intuition doesn't follow rules. Your life doesn't follow timelines. Your energy doesn't follow limitations. Because you are the activator, the one who triggers change simply by existing. When you walk into a room, energy shifts. When someone betrays you, their karma activates instantly. When someone tries to stop you, life reroutes in your favor. When you go through pain, you rise even stronger, confusing everyone around you. You don't fit the pattern because you break the pattern. You aren't part of the prophecy. You are the prophecy. And that's why List S wasn't formed to watch you. It formed because of you. So let me ask you directly, Chosen One, if your heart is pounding, if your intuition is screaming, if your soul feels like it's waking up at this very moment, comment, "I accept my calling," if you feel this is speaking to you. Chosen One, before we begin this activation, take a slow breath in and a slow breath out. Tonight, you're not just listening, you're activating. You're claiming the identity that's been waiting inside you since the moment you were born. So close your eyes, relax your shoulders, feel your heartbeat, and prepare your spirit for this awakening. This is a repeat after me activation. Say the words out loud, or whisper them, or speak them in your heart. The universe will hear you either way. The activation begins. Universe, reveal who I truly am. Show me the identity that has been hidden beneath fear, pain, and doubt. I am ready to see myself, not as the world sees me, but as I was created to be. Take a slow breath, hold, and release. Universe, remove every illusion placed on my path. Remove the false labels, the false stories, the false beliefs, anything that kept me small. I release the versions of me that were created from survival. and I awaken the identity created from destiny. Deep breath in, let it out slowly. Universe, unlock the light that has been sleeping inside me. Open the memory of my true self, the self that knows, the self that sees, the self that cannot be controlled, dimmed, or broken. I am ready for my identity to rise. Release lines, letting go of the old self. Universe, I release the fear that kept me silent. I release the pain that shaped my past. I release the people who tried to block my path. I release the patterns that were meant to destroy me. I release the doubts that were never truly mine. And I release every version of myself that was built through suffering instead of truth. Slow breath in, slow breath out. Identity awakening. Step into the real you. Universe, activate the identity that was chosen for me. Show me the power I've always carried. Show me the intuition that has always protected me. Show me the strength that has always lived inside me. I step into my real identity, fearless, awakened, aligned, guided. I am no longer who I was. I am no longer who they told me to be. I am who I was destined to become. Deep breath, hold, release. Final destiny. Invocation. Universe, unlock my real identity. Let my soul remember its purpose. Let my path align with my calling. Let my destiny open before me, without resistance, without fear, without hesitation. I step into the light that was always mine. I accept the role I was born to play. I walk forward as the chosen one, with clarity, with protection, with power. I am activated. I am awakened. I am ready. One final breath. In, hold, and release. Your identity is awakening. Your path is shifting. Your energy is rising. The message didn't come to you by accident. You were meant to hear this, tonight, in this moment, in this exact version of yourself. Now tell me, chosen one, if you felt even 1% of this message, type "I am the chosen one" in the comments.